Hi everyone, it's Tish with Naptime Creations. So welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos and welcome to my new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Today we're pouring with Primal Flow paint. Let's get started. We're going in with the titanium white, seafoam turquoise, ink and gold, and cobalt. So I'm just pouring a little bit of the white into the bottom of my cup. These are little 3-ounce cups. They're paper cups I got at the dollar store. And then a little bit of the seafoam turquoise. And now I'm going to go in with the ink and gold. I like to layer my paint from lightest to darkest and then throw a metallic in the middle somewhere. And now this is the cobalt. It's a really, really pretty color. And this is an 8x10 piece of glass that I prepped by taping the back. And we're going to do a flip cup today. So I'm just going to let my cup sit. I usually let it sit for about a minute. I cut that part out. And then just lift up, and I kind of dragged backwards. So pull up and back, and then you kind of spread your paint a little bit. And I got a nice little tail on the end of this one. So now I'm just going to go in and take a little bit of paint that's left over in my cup and add it to the corners here. And we're going to start moving this around. Sorry about the glare, guys. I was trying to get it out of the frame, but I was painting in my dining room and I usually never do that, so I apologize. There was a little bit of glare on the light and then now the window, but you can see I just moved my paint to the top left-hand corner and then back to the middle, and now I'm going to the top right-hand corner, just trying to hit the paint that I added to the edges. And then once I hit the paint that I added in the corner there, I started turning it down to the bottom right-hand corner. I didn't bring it back to the middle. I know you're supposed to, when you move your paint around, you're supposed to move it and then move it back to the middle so you don't lose what you just stretched out in your painting. I hope that made sense. But I didn't use a lot of paint on this because it was glass and I didn't want it to be too thick, otherwise it wouldn't dry properly. So I wasn't moving my paint back to the middle of my painting like I normally do, but it turned out really nice in the end. So I'm just turning the piece of glass around, trying to get that paint to stretch out. And I'm using my hand right here to make an L shape, kind of making my own edge catcher. And that's going to catch any paint that was going to fall off into the little tray I have down there. And then I can kind of push it back onto my canvas, or my glass in this case. And after you kind of caught the paint in your palm there, you can just tilt your canvas back the other way and that little space just got filled in. But be careful if you're using glass and trying to make your own edge catcher because it is sharp. I was having a hard time getting the paint to go down in this little corner over here, so I decided to take my finger and just spread the paint out. You can do that if you're having trouble on your canvas or whatever you're working on. You can just take your finger and spread it out a little bit, and that might help your paint flow a little bit easier. In this case, it didn't really help me. I needed a little bit more paint. You can see the paint moved a tiny bit, but not too much. So I'm going to take a little bit extra of the cobalt and add it along the edge here. I'm just taking not much at all, just whatever was left over in the lid, and just kind of dabbing it around on the edge there, making a little line. I didn't have enough left over in the lid, so I poured a little bit of the cobalt into a cup, and I'm using that to kind of just make a nice little small section of cobalt right along the edge there where there was no paint. Next time I'm going to add a thin layer of base, probably a white base, and then pour my cup on top. But it ended up turning out nice in the end. If you do have the little dry spots, it's no big deal. You just have to add a little bit of paint. And I'm just about done tilting this, so let's go in for a close-up. This turned out really pretty. I love that ink and gold. So I'm going to let this dry for about 5 days, and then I'll hit it with my favorite gloss spray. So this is the product that I used, and I waited for a sunny day, took it outside, did a coat in the morning, and then another coat about 8 hours later. And this is how it turned out. See how pretty that gold is? It just really shimmers, and it's a deep gold. It's the ink and gold. And I'll put a link to the Primal Flow paint in the description below if you guys want to check them out. I love their paints. They're just so easy to use because you can pour and go. You don't have to stir up your paint. This thing just shimmers and shines. It reminds me of the ocean. I like this corner right here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day and happy Friday. I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye.